So, all of us represent a major power. Major powers, we have Spain, we have Austria, we have England, we have Prussia, we have effectively the Dutch, and we have France. All of us, and there's also Russia, that is the non-player power, but they're not in play. They're a non-player power. The goal of the game is victory points. We derive victory points from power and control. So control is what this game is all about. You only score points from control. Control is represented by these control markers out here that will be out here on the board. The board is broken up into different regions, if you will. There are off-board locations that are out of play. So the actual home countries for all the powers, Britain, France, Spain, the Netherlands, sort of, Russia, all of that is out of play. It's just flavor text to give context for the map. The places that are in play are anywhere that have the victory point area majority scoring areas. So the Baltic states, Central Europe, the German states, the Mediterranean, which is really Italy, but whatever, the Ottoman Empire, and then we have the colonies. The New World, which is North America, South America, then we have Africa, India, oh yeah, all right, and the Caribbean, thanks. India and the East Indies. So those are the areas that are actually in play. Now, I did say that all of this is just flavor and out of play, but do note that there is a ally spot over here in Portugal, and the Mediterranean has a spot for ships that will go in that represent over here in the Ottoman Empire and the Mediterranean. So those are the areas that are in play. What else are y'all looking at out here? We have the victory point track, which is tracked by the little markers there over there. We have the round track, which one war is the entire top row. And then the second war and the third war, because the game takes place over 3 wars. Each war represents roughly 20 years in history or so. This is 18th century world, if you will. Then there are tiles that we're going to be able to acquire as well. And then everybody has in front of them, take my word for it, everyone has a player board. Now these are off camera because honestly, they're just player aids. There is room over here on the left-hand side for the tiles that you can accumulate, but really it's just a player aid. The player aid is double-sided. That is the available actions, and here are the available tiles that you're going, which is on the flip side of these, that you're going to be able to acquire. But really, all y'all need to see are the player pieces, are gold or money. Again, there's metal coins in the game, which are great. Just the 1s and 5s are hard to differentiate. So for the camera, we're using poker chips. And then we have the neutral region markers, which basically are trophies, for lack of a better way to...
It helps track what's coming.
Yeah, there you go. The only other thing that isn't out there are turn order markers as well. All right? So that's everything y'all are looking at, but how is it that we actually play the game? So if you take a look up in the top left corner up here, the game really centers around this. This is the Grand Alliance area. The Grand Alliance, there are 2. So we're all going to be on 2 teams effectively. Team Red or Team Blue. And those will change every war. So again, the game takes place over 3 wars. Whoever has the most points at the end of 3 wars wins. But at the beginning of each war or each round, we're going to have an auction, a very protracted auction between all of us of who's going to be in what alliance. Nope, if you don't want that, nope, gonna put that up. So we'll walk through how that works when we actually do the alliance, etc., etc. Thank you, Vanna. Well done, sir. So we will keep going until all 6 of us are on the 2 sides. So it will be 3 and 3. It will never be 4 and 2. Well, actually, it could be. No, it's always 3 and 3. Sorry. Right. And then the non-player power will be the last thing auctioned, and it will either be on Team Red or Team Blue. How that will change, we don't know. Then after that, Then the meat of the game takes place, which takes place over those 5 rounds. Those 5 rounds, you'll notice, have these little markers up there that tells you that every player on their turn is going to take 2 actions. They're either going to take 2 regular actions, which are the white actions, or they can take 1 white action and then they can take 1 special action, or they can take a special action and 1 regular action. In addition to that, they can take free actions. Free actions mostly are going to be, oh shoot, I don't have enough money, I will tax my peoples and get money. Or if you have some rule breaker and free action stuff on tiles that you've acquired, then you can take those in addition. So that is the meat of the game. Take 2 actions, go to the next player, next player, we do that once, then a second time, and in a 6-player game, we do that 5 times total in each war. Then after that, we go into the 4th phase. The 4th phase is called, I'm waiting for Ralph to beat me to it.
Yeah, population.
Right.
And paying for your armies and
income and maintenance and population increase. So that is going to be up there at, number 4. And then finally, the 5th thing is strictly control, i.e. score victory points in every region. And you'll notice as we make our way over there, a moment, now we can unplug that. There we go. So the different regions. Every region will score based on control markers. It's a zero-sum game. So as we add, whenever somebody adds a control marker, somebody loses a control marker. And based on the majority of control markers, we will score each of the regions based on the victory points that are shown right there. So first and second, we'll take in the Baltic states. But as it is, we're going to score each of the different areas. So we have the Caribbean, the South America, we have the Baltic states, we have the German states, Central Europe, the Med, Ottoman, Africa, India, and the East Indies. Rinse and repeat, then we will go through a little bit of cleanup, then we go into the second war, do it all over again, do it a third time, whoever has the most points wins.
I would add one thing, the ties are totally friendly. So if 2 people have the most, they would each get the full points, like say 5 in your example, and then the people with tied for the next most would also get 3 points for theirs.
So super friendly ties. All right, so that's the gist of how the game works. But we'll go through the alliance when we actually go through the alliance. All of us know the rules of it, but I will cover that when we get to that point because it's a little protracted, so I don't want to spend time going through that right now. What I do want to go through though are what our available actions are when we take those 5 turns. So on your turn, you get to take 2 actions over each of those 5 turns. So you're going to be taking a maximum of 10 actions. So what are those? Well, take a look over here on our player aid that we have. So again, each round you can take 2 regular actions, which are these right here, and either a regular action and a special action. You can do the special action, regular action, or vice versa. Now, there is a bit of a misprint on the boards in that the Incite Pirate Attack and the Incite Colony, these are technically white actions. However, you can only do each of them, or you can only do one of the 2 once in your 2 actions. So you couldn't do this twice. You couldn't do this and this in the same turn. You could do one of those and one of those or one of those. So that's the only thing. So that's why I have a little dot on these to remind myself that, oh, those are actually white actions, but they're special. All right. So what can you do on your turn? Well, build units. So first off, let's talk about population. This says remove a population and add 1 unit, either a land unit, a naval unit, or a fort. So if you take a look, go ahead, Vanna, we have population track over there. Now that obviously that is just a huge generalized, this is the population of your empire. For it ranges from 0 to 9. You can never go below 0. You can never go above 9. If you would go above 9, you just stay at 9. So whenever you take an action that costs you a population, you drop down 1. Population also doubles as income at the end of a round. The less population, the less the income. Less income, the more taxation you have to do, and taxation sucks, as we all would probably attest to. So, build a unit is very simple. You can build a unit wherever, and I want to make sure I get the verbiage on this right. There we go. All right. So, building a unit, you technically build units in your home country. Now, you're never going to see anybody do this, but just to walk through how these things work. So we have here in Hispania, we have two different military units. When you build them in your home country. However, they don't stay there. They have to go somewhere. If they are going to mainland Europe, you just put them there. There's no, movement rules. There's nothing like that. Because again, this takes place over 20 years. Theoretically, the army could have made it to wherever it is they need to go. So, hey, I'm going to put it in Central Europe. Okay, easy enough, done. No problem there. However, if you would like to go to any of the colonies, you can't teleport. It requires boats. So, first off, you have to have had a boat to go to any of those 6 locations. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, but really it's 4, 5, and 6. When you say, I'm going to the New World, you say, hey, I'm going to the New World. Anytime you would cross any of these thresholds, you have to roll the die. You roll the die. If you succeed with a cool little check mark, cool, you then say, hey, from that point, you're going to one of those 3 locations. Or if you say, I'm trying to go to Africa, you go, whatever, you get the idea. However, if you fail, it is a non-check mark. That means either you pay a coin, go ahead.
You return home. So that's the only time they would be stayed over there. Then you'd have to use a move action later to move it. So it's a big
That
loss.
is the one exception to they will never be in your home country. Or,
but you'll never be there because you'll always
do the other thing, which is pay 1 gold and succeed. Okay, cool. So you're bribing Mother Nature, basically, is what that is. However, there is the really crappy side.
But you have 20 years, so you could pay more to get another year.
I know what it is. I'm being funny.
Yeah.
So, in this case, or as we like to say, this is the Ralph roll. So, it dies. Or you pay 2 gold for it to come back and hang out, which you're not going to do. Or you're going to pay 3 gold and it succeeds. Yeah. So you never auto-fail. And good news, it's a Martin Wallace game. What does that mean? You're never broke. You always have access to money. However, money is called taxation. Taxation comes with, people don't like being taxed. And so whenever you have to take money that i.e. loans, you have to go into this bag of fun. So the bag of fun has these chits in it, and these range. Of course, I draw all ones.
Yeah,
I should have kept them out. They range from 0 to 2. Okay, fine. There's a 2. There are
9.
Okay, there are 9 zeros. There are 9 2s, and there are 70 something.
72.
Thank you. 72 ones.
So there's 90 chips. So
10%. For every time you need to take $2, i.e. taxation, because you don't have the money, you pull 1 chit. The chits are secret. You can play with open information. We're going to play with them secret.
Much better.
Yeah. And then there are also, Ralph, if you show folks, there are 5s, which are not in the bag. The 5s are strictly to be able to make change.
We have to make change.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever.
If you drew a lot of 2s, for example.
Yeah. Right. or when Ralph draws a lot of 2s.
That's why they're next to Ralph.
Right. Of course. Right. Okay. So building a unit, lose a population, and then place one of these things. Now, one more thing I want to touch on with these things. If there is a ship there, then you can go ahead and place this out there. However, you cross this, so your dude's got to roll the die. if you build multiple units over multiple actions, every time you have to roll the die if you cross. Now, if you were, well, I'll talk about that here in a second. The next thing, and forts. Forts are strictly defensive. Everybody has 2 forts. The general rule, there is an exception to this, but once they're built, they stay there forever. If they get destroyed, they come back, then they can be built somewhere else. But once forts don't move, and they are defensive when it comes to combat. All right. Next action, moving units. Moving units, you can move each, or every unit can move twice. Move 2 units, however you want to mix and match. Again, it's always about moving to the destination, not from. So if you are, let's give an example here. I have a unit in India, and I would like to move it to the Caribbean. In that case, I have to have a ship in the destination, not in the origination. So I am crossing 2 lines. Doesn't matter, I crossed a line, I have to roll 1 die. So to move this to the Caribbean, I would need a ship in the Caribbean. I do not have to have one in India. However, if I wanted to move in North America or South America, I would have to move the ship first. That's 1 move. Don't need to roll the die, but then from India to there, I would need to roll the die, etc. So you can move however you would like to, 2 units total, that's moving. Performing an attack. That's a lot of stuff, but it's actually really, really simple. But we're not going to do it until it actually comes up. It just makes more sense to go through it then. The last thing you can do, which is a non-trivial thing, especially later in the game, is pass. Because of what it says right here. You may return 1 unrest point to the general supply if you did not perform an attack on your turn. So if you attacked in action 1 and passed in action 2, you do not lose the unrest chip. However, if you did anything else on your turn and you choose to pass with your other action, or maybe you pass on both of your actions, then you get to get rid of 1 unrest point. Now, I'm stressing the unrest point. I can't find a 2. But imagine that says 2 on it. That is not 1 unrest point. That is 2 unrest points. So instead, for 1 pass, you get rid of 1 of these. If you want to get rid of a 2, guess what? You got to pass twice, or else you get rid of 1. So yeah, that is passing.
And this is important because we only have 5 turns, 2 actions each turn. So passing is...
I mean, you get 30 actions in a game, so losing them is a non-trivial thing. Agreed. Now, the red actions are going to be the actions you really want to take a lot, but you can only do them once per turn. All right, colonization is bad. I understand that. However, in this game, it's a good thing. So don't judge. All right, you lose a population, and then you get to take a special tile that may be out on the board. So you would drop a population, and then let's look. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Let's look down here in India. So if you look, there are going to be these tiles that come out. Again, these are the neutral region markers that come out. So if you wish to take one of these tiles, a lot of times, if it has a number on it, you're going to have to fight it. That is the indigenous population that you are trying to quell.
colonize.
It's
bad.
It is. It's bad. All right.
And those are basically control counters, just like what we're going to put on, except ours are.
So, when you colonize, if it has this icon on it like that, you just say, hey, as an action, I am going to drop a population, and then I'm going to take that, and that becomes a control marker for yours truly. Awesome. Anybody can do it on their turn. It is a red action, but that tile has to be there. Mm-hmm. So if it were like this, you can't do that. You would have to go and fight that neutral control marker there. Then once you have claimed that, then we just go ahead and put this bad boy, thank you, right there to signify, hey, what is still out there in the wild in the bag, which will come out at the beginning of each round. Okay, does that make sense?
Right. And to make the numbers right, the 5 that are already out represent the places where they were removed from countries because of the non-player power.
There you go. Right. All right. So that is colonized. Gold Coast commerce. Again, that's slavery. That is effectively the exact same thing, except you'll notice it's only in certain areas, which, I mean, where it applies. So if we take a look there, that says you have to have a ship there. And then...
In Africa.
In Africa, which if I had that, then, again, I could say, hey, I don't lose a population. Why? You're enslaving Africa, which, horrible. Get it. However, whoop, there, and then this will go out, back out there. And once they're out on this board, they are permanently out there. That's, again, it's just a tracking information because we have a bag of the rest of the chits. In a 6-player game, all but 3 of these will come out. In a 7-player game, all of them will come out, and less will come out with small.
With those done, everything should come out.
Nope, it's 3. I
right.
promise.
I think there's a remainder.
There is. Next thing you can do is establish a local alliance. So everybody has these markers. We just have them separated here. And these local alliances, basically, you're bribing the locals to come and fight on your side whenever you are going to attack, whenever you're going to battle. So to be able to do so, a lot of times it's going to just cost money. Not always. Sometimes it's free. Sometimes it's not. So if you take a look out here, you'll notice that to be able to do the Ottoman Empire alliance cost 1, whereas Naples, that's free. So all you do, put that out there, and now it's going to count as 1 unit, whatever is pictured. So in this case, it is 1 land unit. Here, it is either a land or naval unit, depending for both of those locations here in the Ottomans. And that's why it costs money to be able to. And there are a bunch of different spots. You can see them out here on the mainland, and they're all out. There are also others out in South America. There's the one in Portugal, don't forget, that's there, which this actually works for all of the colonies. All
All 3 of
but...
them.
1, 2, and 3.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah. These 2 and South America specifically, right?
And as a reminder on the bottom of each.
Good call. Portugal, Portugal, Portugal. There you go. That's for that. All right. So that is local alliances.
One other thing.
Sure.
Those only last until the end of the war.
Yeah. So it lasts 1 round. Again, they are temporary. The last thing that we're going to go over, at least, we're not going to cover the pirate attack and the colony revolt. If anybody does that throughout our game, we'll cover those. They happen on occasion. They don't always happen. They're basically a nuisance.
It's the only way you can attack your ally.
Your ally, exactly. So if you have somebody that is on your Grand Alliance, I guess I didn't explicitly state this. In a Grand Alliance, your friends, whether you want to or not, and you don't always get to be on the alliance that you want. So if you want to mess with the people that are in your own alliance, using those 2 actions are the only way you can mess with them. Okay? Well, directly. The last thing you can do is claim a tile. So now, those are the various tiles. Now, where it says original rules variant, those don't, ignore those. We're not going to play with it. And I'll be honest, the game's great as the 2nd edition.
Yes.
For those old school grognard that want, just don't. Just, this is the right way to play the game. All right. So let's go over what these tiles are. Again, these tiles are the ones that are shown down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the board. So all of these tiles, they are piece limited. When they're gone, they're gone. All of these, except for the red ones, are permanent tiles for your colonial power, for your faction. So once you have it, it's yours to keep. The exception of that are the government reform ones, which are those up there, those two big stacks of them. Those just get discarded because that's going to be a way to get rid of unrest. All right.
Industry also.
Oh, and industry.
The
Yeah.
beige tiles.
Yeah,
are
the
ones that-
beige are one shot when you buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there are these colonial.
Company trade.
Yeah, company trading tiles. So East India Company, Gold Coast Commerce, so on and so forth. So to be able to claim these tiles, you help me out.
It's the
You
same-
just
it's
take
the-
them,
it's
right?
the same action, yeah.
Right. And they're going to provide you income based on your control markers in the various areas.
Once per war.
Yeah. When they're used, you flip them over to show that they're used. But when you take it, it's yours forever. Okay. So it basically is telegraphing to people, hey, I plan on hanging out in that area. Okay. All right. So now let's go through what the tiles are. All right. Not necessarily going to do these in the order that they're listed up here. We'll go ahead and start with banking because that one's going to go early and often. There are two bankings. So the number in the top left is the amount it costs to purchase. And I forget what the number in the top right is.
Quantity of them in the game.
Thank you. That's it. So there are two banking tiles. Again, I would like to point out these are red actions. So you can do one of these per round. And there are 5 rounds in which you can do this. Banking says you take 3 gold and 1 unrest counter when you use taxation. So everybody taxes, you get $2. Unless you have banking, you get $3. They do stack. There's no way one person's going to get them both though. So don't worry about that. All right. Militia. Whenever costs $4. Whenever you're building, you may build 1 additional army. So you get to build 2.
You must pay the extra pop, though.
Yeah, and pop. Whenever we say pop, we're talking about population.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes. All right. Army and naval training, respectively. If you have more army or naval training tiles than your opponent during land or naval battle, you gain a +1 modifier. Pretty straightforward. So if Shrey and I, not that that would ever happen, but if Shrey and I were to fight, and I have an army training and a naval training, and he has none, I get a +1. If I have 3 of each, and he has none, I get a +1.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter the amount you're above. It's just, do you have more? If tied, it's a wash. They cancel each other out. Logistics. When you move, you can move 1 extra unit, so you can move 3. Still cannot move forts. Those are real heavy. Okay? All right. War Office. Perform 1 attack at no cost. So if you notice, attacking is going to cost 2 gold. We didn't cover this, but just know that to attack, you have to be able to spend,
You can
from the
always
company
spend
coffers.
2 gold.
Right. Why?
You
Because
have
you
to-
can tax.
Right.
And if you get banking, you actually get $1 back for attacking. So anyway. All right. Train native militia. Again, costs $4. Notice the War Office there costs 8. The trained native militia, there is 1 of these. There's 1 War Office. Build 1 army directly in a colony with your control marker or military unit at no population cost. And no dice roll modifier unless it's moved to Europe. In other words, you don't have to, it's natives. So they're not crossing the threshold from Europe. They're there. So just build them. So that's kind of nice.
But perversely, if you needed it in Europe, you're going to have to roll.
Well,
for it.
yeah, because the natives aren't. Yeah, you get the
And
idea.
you don't need a boat in Europe because you can always move to Europe.
There you go. Press gangs. Build a navy without paying a pop. Costs $3. There's 1 of those.
You miss mercenaries, which is the same thing.
Oh, thank you. Army and Navy basically is what those are. Thank you. Diplomatic service. There is 1 of those. Costs $2. Establish a local alliance. You must still pay any cost for the alliance, but it's a free action to do that, as opposed to a red action, which that can be really, really helpful as the game progresses.
And it's once per war.
Yep, and when all of these, I should say, are once per war. The exception, these guys,
All of the light
and,
blazes.
Thank you. Okay, fine. All of these guys are once per. When you use it, you flip it over, and it has the verbiage on the back side. So if you want, but whenever it's on that, you know that it's been used. All right.
Question.
Answer.
Are all these additional free actions, or are they layered on top of
They-
an action you would normally take?
Depends. Let's see. Actually, all of those.
Yeah, those are all free actions.
Those are no. They're all.
You tap them and then you do it. So like if you have War Office and you tap it, you get a essentially
third action
in that
right, which is an attack. But let's see. No, actually, all of these are extra actions. Yeah, all of the light blues are extra actions. However, if you notice, militia says when building. So as your action, you can build an additional army.
The greens are modifiers and the
Yes.
whites are actions.
There you go. So reserves and improve agriculture. Improve agriculture is free. There are 5 of them. Reserves, there are 4 and it costs 2. After a combat roll is made, re-roll all battle dice. So if you don't like the result, okay, we're going to try that again.
And you won't.
Improve agriculture says gain a population when claiming the tile, and that is so immediately. And then every time you use this, once per round, once per war, gain another population. Those will go early and often as well. These next 2 tend to be late Second War, Third War time period. Return 2 unrest points to the general supply, not to the bag. The bag is sacrosanct. Things that come out of the bag, it's a one-way trip. But get rid of 2 points. And yes, show your work. Trust but verify. Industry, you lose 2 population, and you gain 2 money. And
2 unrest.
2 unrest. I apologize. That's 2 draws.
Yeah.
2 chits.
Yeah.
Gain 3 victory points plus 1 for every one of those tiles that you own.
The improve agriculture.
Well, of those.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Oh, sorry. Of the improved agriculture that you own. I apologize. Yeah, getting ahead of myself. All right. Finally, these 3. These 3, if you don't, when you use them, go back out here. If you don't use them at the end of a war, they go back out here. So if you get them, you probably get them with the point to use them.
And 1 can stay out on the board until the end of the war. Until you use it.
So we'll start with that one. Blockade. Gain a +2 instead of a +1 for naval support in lane combat. Okay. When we get there, if there's naval ships out there, you have either you won combat or there wasn't a combat, then you get a +1. This would give you a +2. Or you create a blockade in a colony. Non-allied players must have more naval units than you to move in lane units. So you blockade them. I mean, pretty common sense. Surprise attack. When making an attack, prevent any other players from joining forces with the defender. So allies can't help. And finally, note that it says local alliances. Again, these are immune from that. And fighting withdrawal. After a defeat in either a naval or land combat, you and your allies avoid all losses. Losses come with unrest. We'll talk about that when we get there, though. Okay. So, again, let me reiterate. 3 wars. So we go through that top 3 times. You only score points based on your control markers, and it's an area majority game. Whoever has the most points wins. It is a pick on the leader, and then you're going to hear a lot of whining of, yeah, but.
There are a lot of yeah buts.
Yeah, there are. So that's it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Sure, we haven't talked about how the Grand Alliance works. We haven't talked about how battles work, which are important, but really it's going to make a lot of sense to do it as we do it. All right? So any questions locally?
No.
No? All right. So now let's finish up setup. So for setup with the neutral players, or the non-player neutral, I'll use those terms interchangeably, the green. These all have letters on the back. They're all, you could have picked a letter. It doesn't have to be A, does it?
It should be, because I really curated it so the map shrinks proportionally.
Okay. All right. So
You could do it other ways, but then you might get no Germany.
okay. So with A's, if there's one non-player power, A and B, if there's two non-player powers, so on and so forth, and keep going. So we drew those out, and each of those gets a unit in each of those locations. So they're not random because they all are the ones with the A. So there's a German state, a Med, an East India, an India, and a Caribbean. But we now, and it's a variant, but we're going to do this. Roll the die to determine whether or not they become ships or not.
Right.
And
One or two.
One or two?
on a 1 or a 2, it becomes a ship. So we'll start.
Well, but this one can't.
German doesn't. This one does. So we'll start there. No. East Indies. No. India. No. And Caribbean. No. All right. So no naval. So we don't need to worry about that. That's done. Next is, I believe we draw 5.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So go for it. No, go ahead. I'll take what's left. So we're gonna draw 5. Here it is.
And if
We
you have any
could
dupes-
draft.
Yeah.
We're not going to. We've chosen not to. You look at your 5. If you draw any doubles of same ones, then you can.
You may want to hide.
You want to put your
Are
units
these-
on those.
No, these are the controls.
No, these
Yeah,
are
the
these are
control.
control.
Yeah, I mean,
So just put them.
yeah.
That'll work. This is our starting control markers. We're all drawing
Yeah,
5
yeah.
at random,
Oh, you want to draw another?
Yeah.
and you can redraw if you get duplicates. But if you don't get duplicates, you cannot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
And these are places where we'll be able to place our units.
No.
No, these are straight up. You're putting out control units
Oh,
on those. There's
Oh,
no
wait, I'm
decision.
gonna redraw
You're
one.
just doing it.
Wait, I'm going to redraw one. I'm going to pull that out. I think I'm going to redraw again because I just want to see which one I'll put.
And that needs to come back, and that needs to come back.
Seem to be good. I got another duplicate. Actually, I might do that one instead of that. And now I got something different.
Have a good night, Graham. Thanks for
Put
hanging
those
out
like
with
this.
us. Hopefully you watch it afterwards. Jim says one of the best games ever.
5. I got 2 South Americans. Hang on.
I think, personally, I think this is Martin Wallace's second best game.
Second best.
Second best.
AOS.
First one?
Maybe third. Oh,
First
probably
best?
third.
All right.
First is Automobile. I think Automobile is his best game.
That was a good game.
Second, Brass,
Ah.
and then this.
Just pull
like-
ahead of
But,
Steam?
well, no. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
Age of
Different-
Steam,
different
is it a
game.
Martin Wallace game
Okay.
or is it? You know what?
Yep.
We're not going to consider it
We're
one
not
way or
gonna-
the
okay,
other.
all right.
That is
Exemption.
again
It just
sacrosanct.
feels like a
For-
a convenience, so you don't have to think about it in your range.
Whatever details.
For me, this one became my baby, so this is the.
Well, I
favorite.
feel like
Yeah.
you're biased on
Yeah.
that. That's fair.
Yes, but I agree with the others.
Yeah, those. Yeah, totally reasonable. Yeah, we're gonna redraw one of the Indias.
But which one?
That one. Okay, cool. All right, so put out your control markers. Wherever. So. I'm so glad that we're finally doing this.
Yes. Wasn't hard to get this arranged at all, was it?
All my
Trade
favorite
like
places.
Caribbean.
Oh wow, are you kidding me? Okay, one in each.
1 in each.
Yeah, well, literally one of each.
Okay, I guess.
Well, I guess I will be in the new world a lot.
You might want to train this.
I have nothing in Europe.
Do you want me to go ahead and?
Yeah, and then here, if you would,
You're a colonist.
I am.
Sure.
I'll take care of this.
Okay. Okay. Now that that is done, let me go through. And if anybody has it committed to memory, feel free to save me from having to go through it.
We need a star player and then start from that player. We each place 1 unit 5 times.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
5 units.
And it does not have to be on a place where we.
No, it can be literally anywhere.
Right.
All right. So we need to randomize turn order. Go for it. Grab the 6 markers.
Oh, there.
Those.
Oh, these.
Yeah. Grab the not the green one.
I like to just
that'd be
throw them
weird.
in the furthest one.
Okay. Sure. Red is first.
Red first. and
Okay,
then we
so
go clockwise.
give red both of those, please. Thank you. And keep that up by your marker, up higher. So people, no, higher.
That's the fastest way to do turn orders.
There you go.
So
All right.
This
So
is first player, or this is first player?
That's active player.
Active
That's-
player,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's auction player?
yeah, and that's the auction. Then we will have these. Where did number one go?
It's right there.
It's right there.
Oh,
yeah.
there. All right, cool. Then we will actually have that for turn order once we begin. But as it is, so 5 pieces. Your choice. That includes your forts.
Could you give me my 2
Yeah.
forts?
So here, if everybody wants their forts to be here, orange,
I'm certainly going
Hold
to
on,
use one
wait.
of them.
black.
Gray. It's Prussian.
Oh, well, all right. Fine, fair. And red. All right. So you have 5 units. So we're going to go around the board clockwise. So, Ken, go for it.
I got to think about this a second.
So as we're thinking about this,
Yes.
we're also considering that more of these guys are going to be coming out onto the board
Yep.
after this. So we don't know where they're going to be.
Yep.
Okay.
But we
Yeah.
have
What
an
is going
idea what the
on?
chances are
Based on what? Now, I realize that the camera, like, it's hard for y'all to see exactly. Let me. Do I have? Oh God, did I?
Is
not?
one of the
I did
Italians
not.
swap with
My
Central
consulate.
Europe?
Sorry.
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, sorry.
That guy.
Ah, good eye.
I just realized I did not set one up for this, so I'm going to fix
And
that.
how many are drawn at the beginning of each war?
9.
9. Dependent on player count, 9 for us.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and this was one of the.
I can't
A lot
believe
of
I got.
Caribbean is already
Sorry?
out.
Who put that
Right.
one there?
That's one of the 9. For
All right, so
Oh, that's
give
one
me.
of the 9 we set up with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the ones that are out here on the board, we can see the things that are seeded already.
Right.
The ones that are blank, we know will be coming up in the future. And each of these represents a target of opportunity, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a good way to put it. A target of opportunity. So if you look, if you notice, almost all of the Met are out. So all but 2 are out. All but 2 of the Caribbean are out. All but 2 of the East Indies are out. All but 2 of the Ottomans are out. So
Only one Africa remains.
Yeah.
yeah, only one German. No, I'm sorry. There's a ton of German.
And
right.
those ones.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. So
that's
there you go. So it's a little hard to see top down, but I think this gives a little bit better
That was
context.
3.
Yep.
Okay. So with that said, you can place army, land, naval, or fort.
Sure.
Golly, there's way too much out there. I mean, you know, likey.
I mean,
This is
I have nothing in Europe. That is insane to me.
I've had that situation. It's different.
yeah.
Yeah.
the real bummer is this, because I've got 2 control markers out here, but so does everybody else.
I have 3. I feel you.
So
And we're
maybe
going
we
to
can all
try.
just agree to share.
Yeah,
We
sure.
could, except that I'm barely there, so I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah, I've only got one.
And it begins.
Sorry. I'll talk quieter. I apologize.
Because it also feels like getting a navy out there is not a bad idea.
Oh, where?
Yes.
Out in the new
everywhere.
world.
Everywhere.
Maybe.
Oh my God. I hate
Well,
all
where
my
you're going to
options.
want to move guys to, yes.
Right.
You should put one where you want to move guys to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, I'm noting that an awful lot of the colonization markers happen to have seeded out this game, so it will be relatively low amount of new colonization going on,
Yes.
which means more.
And the colonization is just
It'd be a
streaming
shame if
across these
something were to
regions.
happen
Yeah.
to the colony over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, really interesting setup.
Okay. Well, I don't need to think. I know I'm gonna want at least one in Germany, so let's do that.
Okay, there's one. All
That way
right.
I can stop thinking about it for a second.
And, God, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
These are gonna be hard to take over.
Yes,
initially.
I know. That's what
so
I'm looking at.
we got status quo here for a while. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's true.
For those that are there, I'm sure.
Well,
6
there's-
points, 8 points.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be status quo. Okay. Well, let me just put a line in the sand here.
Yeah.
You call it
I
a
don't know
line
how
or
much
target?
sand there is really in Central Europe.
Right.
You know.
Well,
Oh yes, thank you, Boris. I will.
I'm taking a stand with a line of sand.
Wow. Yeah, this is.
It's brutal. It's brutal. I love it.
This is ugly.
There we go.
This was an odd break for everybody.
Here.
Yeah.
Are you not happy? I'm not happy.
No, I'm displeased, honestly.
I'm not remotely pleased with this.
That's good. If we're all displeased, then there you go.
I
And
noticed at
make
least
sure to
one
place your
person
guys
quiet
with the
in
rifle
snow.
so they know which run are ours.
Yeah.
I agree with your impulse to have a local police force here, and I
Yeah.
think we can do that comfortably between us.
That's right. Well, if our Habsburg cousin joins us, then we
Well,
can equally share
Right.
and.
So what they're going
We'll be
to
fine.
do
That would be
is
absolutely fine.
you three are going to ally, and you're both going to help Red take one. You're going to both help Shrey get one, and then you don't get one.
I'd like to review that.
There really aren't a lot.
Actually, you can't help against natives.
So there's.
No.
No help against natives. You're on your own.
That's
what-
what them.
Let's see. It goes.
There, yep. And to note, for the initial seeding, you don't have to roll for these.
Right.
So they're just
Yeah, that's
there.
why-
This is where things were at the beginning of the game.
Which
so
is a notable
that's-
advantage.
So if we would follow the marker, that's 1. So put it on 2. No, the actual white marker
this-
on 2. I just
Just-
indulge
just-
me.
just
Just
the-
to track. Put it. No.
Oh,
Here.
Thank you. Now we're on the second placement. Ken.
just for now.
Yeah.
Could have used the X.
Remind me with the colonization action. Do you have to have presence in the region in
No.
order to take the action? So you could just do that.
You totally can.
Okay. All right.
There's nothing in there. No marker to get. No.
I'll probably also want some presence in the Mediterranean, so let's do that.
Okay. I am so excited to hate all of you by the end of the day. This is great.
That is.
I admire your willingness to wait that long.
Yes, H3. Edward is yellow, so I guess Viva la España. You were correct. Yes.
Let's see. And you can put anywhere. That's the other interesting thing.
Yeah, literally. I don't have a presence in Europe yet.
Nor will you. I'm just saying.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna.
Whoa. Slow down over there.
Yeah, South America's a problem.
Everything's a problem. There's too many fires to put out.
We can be mutual friends in our misery.
Oh, we're about to be. Don't worry.
I'm really quite unhappy with the way this ship is.
The only person who's happy right now is Ken.
I think
I'm thrilled.
The two that are on my side are both very quiet about their
Yeah.
lack of misery over here.
Well, he doesn't know what's coming.
Exactly.
He's played once, but yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, that's got to happen. Like, is that
Central Europe.
stupid? Is that stupid? I don't think it's stupid. Yeah, let's go ahead and solidify a little defensive in South America.
Oh,
And then, Shrey, if you will move it to round 3, please. And you'll notice when we come in, when we zoom in on the various locations, you'll see that these are double-sided, the screen printing. So we're using the neutrals with just the blanks and then the player pieces. So to help differentiate it a little bit. All right. Oh yeah, the board, everything pops really well in this game.
I really love the way he did these. Where they,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
they have
Yeah.
the,
Like
the actual math.
100%. Like if you look, it's so well done. It truly, really well done. Like the insight is the only issues.
What is this? Like, I'm
Since
fine.
you're
I'm
very
fine
well defended by the
with
Prussians.
the way it is right now. I
I'm
don't-
also fine with it.
Oh, good. Then don't put anything there.
Yeah.
We're fine with that, aren't we, Russ?
We agree,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Don't feel compelled.
Isn't it funny that Shrey's right between us?
It's interesting. For now.
Yeah. I mean, this right here. Squeeze it a little bit.
Again, everything is done in support of control markers, because control markers are points. That's the only thing, and that I think is really one of the beautiful things about this game,
All right, fine.
in that it's not a point salad. It is
We don't
one
need
thing.
men over here.
You felt compelled.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally do not
Yeah.
need men over there.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Just leech a few points every war.
Mhm.
Nobody else seems to care about it either.
Shrey, I'm just saying, if you, I'm gonna put one unit over in India because you did, but we could stop there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we can
I'm
stop there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Obligated
I love it.
to come here.
I'm so glad I'm not in
But
military.
we can protect you if you.
You would do that for me?
Of course.
All right. And I would, of course,
Then-
protect you in, well,
Yeah.
somewhere.
And just as a reminder, when you're going after neutral markers, you don't get any help from allies
Correct.
unless you have a local alliance marker.
Right.
Neutral must be
Okay,
handled
this
on
is
their own.
this is round 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, after this, you only have 2 more to play.
Patrick, you got that too? Ralph was just clarifying to be sure.
I hate all of my options. I hate everything about everything.
You don't get help from allies or the non-player major power
Right.
against your neutrals.
Just the local alliance.
I have a question before placing.
Sure.
For the
Forts?
if an ally is attacked, can a fort be used
No.
No,
part of its
for,
defense?
forts are only for
Only-
you.
Only for you.
So I can't generously share my defense.
No, you cannot. They are selfish.
I'm trying to be nice.
Oh shucks.
Your family.
Everybody that believes that, raise your hand.
Oh God.
No hands.
So glory to Rome's. So let's see. They're technically 15. We'll go 9.5. 9.5.
For
Glory to Rome's. In other words, go fornicate with yourself. It's a stream friendly way of saying
Yeah.
that. So
Wedge
if you want to
because
cuss somebody out, instead say
Five
glory to
placed over
Rome.
here.
There,
So now
okay,
we're on
okay.
round 4.
I hope I can
Yeah.
remember that.
I've got a.
I mean, it happens. Where'd you place, Patrick?
I placed.
Whoa. Get out of the new world. All right, we're into round 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I have
nice.
some harder decisions coming.
Yeah.
Sandon.
I
don't care what it is. I'm taking the
Soldiers
over.
and boats and forts, oh my. Soldiers and boats and forts, oh
Yeah.
my.
This is horrifying.
Uh,
And we haven't even moved yet.
Oh no, this is still pregame,
Yeah, this is.
and the whining is strong.
But you can feel the tensions rising.
Oh God, yes, so much.
I think this and baseball highlights, which are 2 games I worked on, are the games that make my heart race
Oh, yeah.
more than any other.
Yeah.
Playing online with baseball highlights, I just even solo, it gets me going.
Samurai does that for me.
I swear to God, I was just about to
Samurai.
say that. Samurai, thank God it's
Please
only
don't
an
do
hour
the
long.
thing.
I
Please
could
don't do
not
the thing
handle. Yeah,
I wanted to.
I could not handle that
Please
game
don't
I
do
deep.
haven't
that
done that
thing,
forever.
one
It
thing.
is so stressful.
Huh.
It is so stressful.
Who
It's
went?
me.
Okay.
I'm still thinking about it.
And I'll
But
say
if
while
you
Ken's
take
thinking,
if you
like,
battle to take another player's marker, then the non-player will help you.
Yes. So
Okay.
the so
Ominous.
I guess I
Just
didn't-
asking.
No, wait, what was the question?
So the non-player power, green in this case, will always fight with you and will always defend with you.
If it's in the alliance.
If
Yes.
If it's on your
against
side.
the other alliance,
Yes.
Yeah.
it will not help you versus
The-
natives.
the- versus
Versus,
the
like, these
these
guys.
markers.
Right.
But if I were like Spain, for example, if I were to attack, just
hypothetically.
as a hypothetical.
Slow your roll.
We would all do that anyway.
and also, green will never take losses. These pieces
Right.
will never come
Right.
off the board,
Right.
but they will just help.
Oh dear.
But you, okay, for defense, do they help? You have to have a presence still. You have to be there. They won't help if you're not there at all.
Oh yeah.
Correct? Just making sure.
Well, no,
No, that's
they
not
would.
true.
No, if somebody attacks your marker,
Yes.
you can't attack unless you have a land unit. So
Right.
you can't attack. But if somebody attacks you,
They
then
will still come to
they
your
will still
defense.
come to your
Okay.
defense.
All right. Got it. Yep.
Because that would be an attack. Let's see. And
Octavius says, Patrick, look at this comment. You're the captain now. You win.
Excuse me? I'm good. Let's go.
Where'd you place that
yeah,
there? Can you stop that? Like, I don't.
there.
This
I
is
placed a
number
vote.
4. Y'all are putting way too much stuff over in the New World. Stop that.
There's a
Well,
lot
as
of
we said,
markers
there's a
over
lot
there.
of stuff out there.
I have put 0 in the New World.
Thank
Just,
you.
just you know,
I guess
I'm
you
helping.
can.
I'm helping you. I'm not putting something when
Wait,
you're
wait,
interested.
Spain.
just said you're not going to
Yeah.
do that.
No, I didn't
Spain.
say that. I didn't-
Spain, for
this is the
example,
new- this is the
and
New
all
World.
all the colonies.
Chloe to Rome.
And all the colonies. There's
What?
plenty of player markers to attack.
Why are you
Yellow
upset
ones
about
especially.
that?
Because we said I'm going to put one here. You don't put any more, and we're good. You said, yeah, I'm good with
I
that.
did not agree with that.
Oh, yes, you did.
No, I did
roll
not
the
agree with
cap, roll it
And
back.
folks, this is why it's a great game.
For the friendships it builds.
Yes. Character. It's a character builder.
This is like, you know, I gotta have my defensive posture. I don't know if we're gonna be the same alliance or not.
Yeah, isn't that the beauty
Good
of
point, Shrey. And you have no control over it whatsoever.
it? You can.
I have infinite control.
We should mention one important thing.
What?
At the end of the game, we assessed how much unrest you have. If you have
Oh.
20 or more, you're out.
Right.
If you have the most, you lose 7 points. Ties are friendly. And if you have these, and then after that, second most loses 4 points. Ties are friendly.
You cannot win the game. If you have the most, you lose 7. If you have the second most, you lose 4 points.
And that's after the one with 20 went out.
Uh-huh.
Then you assess the 7.
Yeah, I know. Where'd you just place?
Fourth.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm sorry?
No, I don't care about Europe right now.
The French are very pleased to hear that from the Spanish.
Caribbean.
Put you with your
No,
other-
no, no,
Oh,
no,
Caribbean.
no.
Caribbean.
Oh, Caribbean. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can reach South America
Yeah, here we go.
And put them over with
with the units.
Yeah.
Or, okay, whatever.
Oh, we'll rearrange
Yeah,
them based
yeah,
on
that's
alliances
fine.
once
Yeah.
we get there.
Good idea.
East Indies?
Not comforting.
Why? It's unnecessary. We're in round 5.
It's an
Go.
Austrian lake.
For the friendships.
Here, that one.
Build? Yeah, you can load
Likely.
up. Absolutely, you can have multiple navies, and absolutely
Yes,
you're
true.
going to see it. Yeah.
It's hard right now because you have such a limited number of things.
Yeah. Why can't I? This one time, can I put down 7? 7 would be good. Oh my God. This
Well,
is terrible.
by the end of round the first turn of the first war, you will be able to have 7.
Uh huh.
We're placing a
At
fifth now, or
least.
we have one more to place.
One more.
No.
This is it. One more. Starting what?
Here, by the end of that,
Oh, by the end of the first round.
Yes.
you
Yes.
could have that.
One.
That's
Ralph,
true.
this should be your final placement.
Yeah. So Ken,
I
did
already
you place
placed.
your 5th?
We're
already
here.
did.
This shouldn't be here yet. He
Yeah.
went first. We did our 5th.
No.
No,
No,
4th.
you
We
have
did
not.
our
Yeah,
4th.
yeah, we're there.
It's
We're-
my
we're
turn.
back to him.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my,
God.
it's my turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Did I fall
So,
asleep?
It's okay.
where
don't know. I don't
where are
know.
there opportunities?
There aren't many.
It's a crazy thing. They're going to come. You just
In
have
fact,
no idea
this is
when.
one of the rare games where some of the opportunities are staring at you. With a lean and hungry look.
I'm waiting.
That's very uncomfortable.
I'm thinking that you all need more forces in Germany.
No.
That's where the points are.
We
We're
all
nice and
Yeah,
even.
the U3.
Well, I would say y'all, but
Did you say Baltic?
Oh,
I-
sure. If you want to
I
come to the
was
Baltic,
sort of
that's fine.
thinking. I mean, the Ottoman Empire looks like
Prime.
what was the word I said? Opportunity.
Yes.
well, if we don't have
It's
the
knocking.
stuff there now, nobody's gonna do it. There's nothing to get over
I
there.
can always move over there.
I'm not
later.
wasting my time.
Let's,
there. We're gonna get the 5 points, the 4 points. Quiet deal making on this side. Sure.
or whichever of you is left after I take one of the control markers, we could make a deal. That
Yeah,
we could,
yeah.
We can be committed in advance. Whoever's left.
Yeah, so let's do that.
Where
Let's
are you?
try Ottomans.
Ottoman?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't, not because I'm in there, but that doesn't help you in any way. There's no marker there to take.
Yes.
There's 2 markers in there for me to take.
Yes.
No new. And suddenly the world opens.
Where'd you place Ken? Oh, over there. Okay. All right. Okay.
I reiterate.
Ralph was describing
Yeah,
that there
I
was
mean,
nothing there to be
I
taken
was-
with his naked control
So you're
marker.
forcing me to not to do the same thing that Ralph did. That's all that happens, and it makes that feel a bit wasted for all 3 of us.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't want to do that, but you're making me do it, which is unfortunate.
I had to put it somewhere. I like putting my forts out early.
Yeah.
And then we get an alliance.
Yeah.
Move guys in.
I'm actually.
He can move that to anywhere in Europe though on a turn when he moves
Yeah.
guys. So it's a stalking horse.
Really not
Yeah. Okay.
fond of the setup I've got.
Same.
No, it's all brutal.
Yeah, I already dislike all of you.
Yes.
No, I haven't felt any hostility towards you, except for there.
Yeah. See, like,
was
okay.
just a half a
I have an
second
issue
gap.
with you there. I have an issue with Ken there. I have an issue with Patrick here. Shrey can go screw himself here. Wait. You know what?
We're good.
We're good. We're good.
That should hold for
one
several
thread.
minutes.
I have one. I'm okay with that. All right.
I'm uncomfortable about that because I look absolutely like the leading target.
Where? There? Oh, there.
Hold on. He's
there
such
and
a
there?
target. I didn't even see him.
I'm okay with that.
What color are you?
This looks blue.
Yeah. Yeah. That is not long for this world from
No.
somebody.
No, it's just ugly over there. All right, so I'm going to try over here because historically we never fight each other.
All right, mate.
Yeah.
It's on.
Oh God. Speaking of being a target,
Don't fight.
yeah. So, all right. I like getting my forts out early as well, like much like Ralph. I have 3 valid places to put this: East Indies, India, or possibly the Caribbean. Those are my 3 thoughts on that.
Why not up here?
I could, but no. Actually, it will go into India.
Makes me
Done.
glad I'm not there.
Forts. When I'm thinking about placing these things, why would I place a fort rather than, say, a military unit?
Because
You're going to have
it's-
time to build up your military units, but in the meantime, somebody might be able to take out your piece.
Yeah, whereas
If you
forts
got
are
a
harder.
key piece that you don't
Where are
want to
forts
lose.
harder?
Forts are 2 defensive.
They're
units.
2 defense.
0
Yes.
offense, 2
Oh,
defense.
that's going to
It definitely belongs in Germany. It definitely belongs there.
All right.
Is that
So
everybody?
now we're here.
Right, okay, so I can put these back.
All right. All right, the game now officially begins.
Hey, y'all made it this far. That's awesome. Gold star for you. Maybe check out some of those other videos that are listed there. Subscribe to the channel. Consider supporting us over on Patreon. All those things help the channel grow and make more content for y'all. So thanks, y'all.